And welcome to the Redeye. It is about 3:30 on the West Coast, broadcasting from the coastline, actually, right outside of Coos Bay, Oregon. Hey, what's up, Pinoid? Already a $2 super chat. I called this and you ain't invite me. I'm gonna send the link out in a little bit. I did throw it in my server though, but really, what's going on?
Hang on, first things first, you should bill those assholes for fucking sneaking an ad in your fucking promo video.
Well, I think the ad pays me, right? Because it's my promo video from my channel. But once again, thank you, Pinoid. But they shouldn't have called last night election night in America. It should have been, and the Democrats start cheating America, right? Pretty much.
Communist subversion of the United States.
Well, since we're going to jump into that, I want to lead in with this and get your thoughts, both Farty and Dodge. I'm going to give you guys some numbers. So we're going to go by state, number of registered voters, projected voters, and then the percent turnout.
Bro.
Nevada, 1,277,000. That's registered. Projected, 1,593,143. That's 125% turnout.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
How many of them are alive?
Good question. Pennsylvania, registered voters, 6,469,000. Projected votes, 7,041,672. That's 109% turnout. Minnesota, 3 million registered. Projected, 3,197,528. That's 107%. North Carolina, 5,160,000 registered.
Just stop. You're lying. All right, those numbers are wrong.
Oh no, this is coming straight from realclearpolitics.com.
I don't care. They're wrong.
Well, this is the numbers being reported.
I don't care. They're wrong. All right, what I'm telling you is this. All right, I legitimately did a video on the amount of registered voters in the fucking state of Pennsylvania and the fact that there's more people fucking registered to vote than live there, right? But the number was not 6 million. The number is 8.2 million people registered to vote in Pennsylvania.
Oh, see, no, Pinoid, this is registered voters and projected votes. And even then, I'm not even talking about the number of eligible voters. This is just registered versus projected.
No. They literally cite actually 8.9 million registered voters in the state of Pennsylvania. Registered voters in the state of Pennsylvania.
Laugh if the state only had 4 million fucking people living there, though.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Yes,
I didn't go into Pennsylvania, Pinoid. This is only listing Nevada. Oh no, there is Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Legit. I literally did a video on this and broke into the math deeply on it, on how many people are actually registered to vote in the state of Pennsylvania. Actually, right, but there's literally 8.9 million people registered to vote. Right, the average number of voters in Pennsylvania is usually around 6 million, because it was something like 6.4 million or 6.5 million voted in 2016. Right, and you know what I'm saying, we're not even at 6 million yet in PA right now.
Well, if that holds true, then that means their turnout is above, well above 100%, because they're saying it's 109% turnout. Going by the numbers that you're saying,
they're lying. Well, if their numbers are wrong.
Well, going by the numbers you're saying, that means the turnout should have been somewhere closer to like 130, 140%, which is statistically impossible without cheating.
What are you talking about? there's 8.9 million registered voters, right? And 6 million people show up. That's like 60% or 70%.
Oh no, they're reporting registered voters are at 6.4. So if what you're saying is true, then yes, it should be closer to. I think that would actually still put it at 90%. Let's see, where did you go to get the that number?
Why you guys are trying to figure that out? I have up the map right now from 270towin.com. They're putting Biden at 253, Trump at 214, without Alaska called, without Nevada, Arizona, or Georgia. Georgia should be called by now.
There we go. Apologize, I had a phone call come in. Nah, but like, yeah, the number of registered voters legitimately is much higher than what they're reporting on Real Clear Politics. They're lying.
Actually, according to Philadelphia.cbs Local, as of October 19th, they're reporting that Pennsylvania has over 9 million registered voters. What is the eligible voting population in Pennsylvania?
What the eligible voting population in Pennsylvania is right around 9.7 million.
That's out if that's the case.
And usually they register to vote when you go get a driver's license, or if you get an ID, which you need in the state of PA. Like legally, you have to have it. If you get stopped, if you don't have a fucking ID, like they can fucking fine you.
All right.
Okay, something's looking a little fishy on this map. I think Trump has to run the rest of the board to win. I don't know if that's possible.
All right, I think this is actually more accurate. We're going straight to a Department of State, PA.gov. 2016, voter registration was at 8,722,977. That is a 70.11%. The voting age population is 10,018,510.
No, that's wrong.
This is from the Department of State.
Yeah, I feel you, but like the bitches you got to take out, you have to take out 350,000 immigrants who aren't legally allowed to vote.
True, and
then there's a percentage of old cunts that have died in the last 4 years.
Keep in mind this is 2016 numbers.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, you see how it's like 8.2 million in 2016. Real Clear Politics literally just showed you that they don't have the fucking numbers right.
They definitely don't. They really don't.
So like, you might as well throw out that whole entire mentality. Like it's complete bullshit.
And I want to see, where's their source?
I don't fucking know.
Their source is from worldpopulationreview.com. I've never even heard of that website.
I've heard of it.
I'm looking at the number breakdown in Georgia. You got President Trump with 2,411,910 votes. That's 50%. You have Biden with 2,356,318. That's 48.8. We have 96.3% counted. We can give Georgia to the president at this point, right?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought about Wisconsin and Michigan last night. But when I woke up, one of those fuckers turned fucking blue. Now apparently the other one has too. So they fucking, what the fuck bullshit's going on there?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. First off, with Georgia, you have to remember that 93% counted is nonsense, right? That's not 93% of the vote counted. That's 93% of the counties reported.
Thank you, Aaron, for the £2 super chat. Quote of popular British sitcom, "Don't panic." We're not going to panic and we're not going to riot if we lose, but something's
that's the problem.
A little fishy in Philly. I'm just saying.
That's the problem, is that you're not going to riot. Legit. That's the fucking problem, is that they know there's no consequences for what they're doing right now.
Well, there's already a lot of poll challengers / watchers in Detroit that are really pissed off because, well, they're supposed to stop the count because it's been challenged in Michigan, and they continue to count. They've boarded up the window so people can't look in, and according to people on the ground, they kicked out all the GOP poll watchers.
It's worse than that. It's worse than that. I found this out from Crowder. There was some lawyers with the group Lawyers for Trump up there in Michigan to watch the count, right? And they were told that they're going to stop counting at 3 a.m. So they left. And then one of them was like, wait a minute, what if there's some type of Watergate thing going on? So she drove back up to the precinct in Detroit, and there's video footage of a wagon full of votes coming out of a random white van. There's ice chests that are closed, suitcases closed, just walking into the back, no security, no nothing. And they were lawyers sent from Texas, yes, surety. But yeah, there's some fraud going on in Michigan, and I think Trump will hold Pennsylvania, but it's going to be close.
Yeah, look, they're going to steal this election, all right, and it's fine. Like, y'all need to prepare yourselves for that mentality.
Oh, I agree with that, and I've been trying to say this to some people. Even if Trump doesn't win this election, because regardless, neither is going to concede. It's going to get contested. It's going to go to the court. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering why Amy Coney Barrett getting nominated and confirmed was important, this is why. Even if Trump loses, the one thing that you can at least sleep well at night knowing is that this is going to be looked into, and it will expose a lot of fraud and a lot of flaws in our election system, and at least maybe, hopefully, that gets addressed. Don't hold your breath, but it is kind of blowing the lid off something, even if Trump loses. Also, don't be surprised if you see Barr. Don't be surprised if you see Barr and Durham come out in the next couple weeks or the next month, and they decide like, well, you know what? We only got a few weeks left in office. Trump fires a CIA and FBI director, and then those indictments get unsealed, and you see the real shit can start. Because, like I've been saying, everybody thought that this election was going to be, the clock strikes midnight and it's all said and done. No. The clock struck midnight, and this is when the real fun starts. The past 4 years have been nothing. This is when the shit gets real.
Well, I have a question.
Matt, did you see what Justin Trudeau said?
No, I don't pay attention to morons.
He said if Donald Trump doesn't leave the office peacefully, then he will march Canada's army into DC and remove him himself.
I would love to see the drama teacher top hat try.
Yeah,
but they were saying this fucking months ago. They're like, "Oh, Trump's going to refuse to fucking relinquish power and all this kind of stuff." It's well, citation needed. Where did he actually fucking say that? Right?
Oh my god! I don't care. I want Trump now to not give up power just so Canada gets its fucking ass whooped. I want Canada to come down here and catch a beating of a lifetime.
You know what, though, with this Cairns-look thing coming in and all this kind of stuff, it won't just be Canada, it'll be the British, the Australians and the New Zealanders coming in as well, and hopefully it'll be just the guys that are getting rid of the fucking communist infestation you cunts have got and won't do a fucking thing about.
Yo, man, legitimately, I want to see, Gaddafi footage of Trudeau. Oh, shit. Yo.
Damn. Well, no, okay, that's funny.
That's question. Why didn't anybody think of doing something like this? Okay, you're afraid of COVID, so you want to do mail-in voting. A lot of people don't like it, but fuck it, whatever. They got to do it anyway. How about you start counting that shit a week ago, and everything's wrapped up last night like it should have been?
Yo, legitimately, fucking. Cumberland County, the county right next door to mine, which is like right across the river, they weren't even allowed to start counting until the day after the election because they weren't ready for the COVID prep for cleaning for the fucking all the shit that they had to do for like separation and fucking what the hell is that shit called? Fucking safe spacing or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, the social distancing bullshit.
Yeah. They weren't even. They said they weren't allowed to start counting because the social distancing wasn't up to standard.
Oh, all they have to do is stick down some stickers on the fucking ground 6 feet apart from each other. What the fuck do they have to do?
Hey, is anybody going around to those fucking ballot boxes that were out in the fucking streets and shit completely unguarded and check to see if they're just not 4 little feet that are angled ground to the floor?
Yo, man, they're not doing anything. All right, legit. Pennsylvania is the most terrible place in the world when it comes to government. Like when I have to pay, like for like my like child support or my fines, I have to pay like a 20% fee to pay into the government because they don't know how to accept credit cards. If I go get my birth certificate from the state, legit, I go in there and they told me we don't accept cash, check, or credit cards. And I go, wait, how am I supposed to pay? They go, oh, you have to walk to CVS and go get a money order in order to pay us.
Are you fucking serious?
Dead ass, dude. Pennsylvania's garbage.
What the
Our
fuck?
government is fucking trash, dude. Like legit.
Now.
So they're telling you can't pay your government mandated bills, whether you agree or disagree with the policy. You can't pay it in fucking cash? Are you okay?
Or credit cards. Or a check. Like, yo, you have to pay in money order.
I don't even know what to say about that one. That is...
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just... People think, like, PAs, like, oh, they're fucking... They're doing this, they're fucking up the election or whatever. No, what they're doing is... They're doing what the state does. They're dragging their feet like a bunch of whining little babies because they're fucking garbage.
I'm surprised it's not a case of like, oh no, you got to go down to the telegram office and wire us some money by Western Union, you see?
Literally, that's what you have to do.
Fucking shit.
That is like you literally have to go get a money order from Western Union.
Wow.
There's other stuff coming up. Okay, so in Arizona, in Maricopa County, you're not supposed to use Sharpies on your ballot, right? You use an ink pen, you use blue or black. It's simple. It's been this way for years. They took away the pens and started handing out Sharpies. Sharpies bleed through onto the other paper, therefore invalidating the other votes as well.
Are you surprised?
Yeah, I called this, dude. I knew like this was gonna be retarded, and I knew that Biden was gonna win. Like I knew what it was gonna be. Like legit, because America's fucking retarded and they're terrible and they're fucking stupid. Like America's full of bitches. It is what it is.
As I was telling Farty, I would have been more surprised if the election wasn't close and there wasn't a bunch of shenanigans going on. Because as soon as the whole COVID thing started up and they were, we're gonna do mail-in ballots and we're gonna do this, they're gonna fucking cheat. They've already advertised it to us. They've been advertising it to us for the past 4 fucking years. Like people are like, oh my god, how is Twitter censoring the president and marking this and marking that? They already said in a closed meeting released from Google that they want to manipulate information to prevent another Trump situation. Do you think they don't have anything left to lose at this point? If Trump wins, for them, it's game fucking over. They're going to put everything on the table. It's all hands in. Of course they were going to do this.
Well,
if you don't think, sorry, real quick, Pinoid. If you didn't think that was the case, if you didn't think they would pull out all the stops, even if it means they go to jail for the rest of their lives or they get charged for treason, if you didn't think they were going to take and run that risk just to make sure they get back in power and the establishment, the powers that be are put back in place and they get rid of Trump, the outsider who has upset the balance of power, if you didn't think they were going to do that, you either weren't paying attention or you're an idiot. Hate to break it to you. It's one of the two.
Here's the question. Why?
Oh, because they have shit to hide. I mean,
no. Why?
Well, there's the strategic fucking element of it at the moment. There's fucking all the bullshit with the 9-dash line and the fucking South Pacific and all this kind of shit. And I've been trying to tell you for a while now that this fucking that the bloody BLM and Antifa trying to fucking get you cunts to fight internally and all this kind of stuff takes the fucking the focus off bloody China and what they're trying to do. And I told Doku this off air, and like I'll drop it all on yous now. This is exactly how, and I've been saying this also for a good long while, that fucking if Australia ever got attacked, we just can't fucking rely on America to come straight in and fucking help us. And this is exactly how you cunts are going to be 3 years fucking late for World War III for the third fucking time in fucking history, because if fucking Biden gets in, well, we already know he's a fucking communist cocksucker, and he's had fucking BLM and Antifa in his back pocket, and his son's a fucking untrustworthy fuckwit. So if he does get in and China does start making a move, you watch, Biden will go softly on them, fucking probably even pull a couple of carrier groups out of the South Pacific and all this kind of stuff, leave us to our own devices until such as a stage as enough of you like get fed up with all the communists in your country, fucking do something about them and start fucking coming to help us. The only problem is, though, this is looking like, because it's in our backyard, you won't fucking have us in 3 years. We can't fucking do anything to stop this without yous. And if we have to do it alone, we won't be here in 3 years to fucking back you lot up. So then you will have to do this without most of the support of the South Pacific and all this, the Quad, the Pact, the CETO and all that kind of shit. And it's going to be doubly bloody harder for you lot. And that's what the fucking Chinese want. They want to take you lot out without firing a shot.
No,
and they're doing it.
See, I think you're 180 degrees wrong, right?
Well, you're wrong.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. Because America legitimately doesn't need you, doesn't need China, doesn't need South Korea, doesn't need Japan, doesn't need Malaysia, doesn't need India, doesn't need Saudi Arabia, doesn't need anything to do with any part of that motherfucking neck of the woods. We don't need it. It has no significant stance to us. And we shouldn't be coming to help you. You should be on your own. And I'm going to tell you why.
Yourself, because, you fucking idiot cocksucker. You've got no fucking clue about what you're fucking on about. Like, no. Why the fuck do you ask us first off to go in every fucking place your guys kick your shit up about, right? Fucking, you don't fucking need us.
You're not the first one we ask. You're not.
Fucking bullshit.
No,
fucking bullshit.
England.
Fucking
Britain's the first people we ask.
You fucking asked fucking John fucking Howard the fucking minute the fucking plane started hitting the fucking World Trade Center towers. Fuck off.
Britain was the first fucking phone call we goddamn made.
It was Tony Blair. Shit.
Tony Blair was the first
fucking John Howard was standing right next to fucking George W. Bush on that fucking day. How the fuck did he fucking make a fucking phone call to Britain? Fucking piss off. You don't know shit,
He called fucking Tony Blair, legit. Because Tony Blair's the motherfucker. England's the number one motherfucking ally.
Yeah, he's a dumb fuck trying to rewrite his own fucking history again.
Who?
If you don't fucking need us, why is fucking Trump making all of these fucking pacts and fucking agreements and shit? How come there's bloody ANZUS and fucking UKANZUS and all this other fucking shit? Eh? How come Britain never went to Vietnam with you?
We don't need the rest of y'all. We're a continental economy. Legit, we are only 6% of our GDP is tied up in fucking exports. You're a continental
economy that's fucking sooking about the fact that you don't fucking make anything in America at the moment, and you should start doing it again. Okay, rightio.
Right, and here's the thing: 6% of our GDP is tied to exports. All right, and half of that is Canada and Mexico. Legit, we don't need the rest of the world. All that bullshit, all the allies and all that fucking nonsense, legit. That was set up after World War II as a bribe. All that free trade shit was y'all sending us shit. It wasn't us sending you shit. It was y'all sending us shit. All right, so you had a market you could sell your export goods. Right, no, you had a market you could sell your export goods to, and you helped us fight the Soviets. Just like the rest of the fucking world.
Shit. Now it's time for you to fucking come and make good on your fucking deals, because we've already scratched your back enough fucking times. I reckon you're an ungrateful you bastard.
No. We kept that free trade bullshit open. We've secured all your fucking trade routes for years. And
this is exactly what I said just a few minutes ago, where I said we can't fucking count on you cunts to come to our aid straight away. Penoid's already fucking making all the bullshit excuses.
No. We already did it. We already protected your goods. We let you motherfuckers trade to get the fucking affluence and become fucking incredibly wealthy. All right?
Yeah, that's
we
because we're in a
literally
Commonwealth.
built the rest of the fucking world. We built the rest of the fucking
Commonwealth
world.
had nothing to fucking do with that, eh? Nah.
No, because Britain's Navy was on the fucking ocean bottom in the end of World War II.
Yeah, and you can't tried to fucking bleed them fucking dry, but you're now pissed off because they ended up paying you back.
Yo, and we did bleed them dry, and we're going to do it again. All right? We're doing that shit again.
See, this is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. We can't fucking rely on you cunts to come to our aid and make good on your fucking agreements and shit like that.
What agreement?
This is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. Thanks,
this agreement
for fucking confirming it for me.
Yo, it's lasted 80 fucking years. All right?
Yeah.
That whole order is over now. All right? And it's not your fault.
How the fuck is it? The agreements are still fucking legal and binding.
No, yo,
whether you like it or not, you cunts do have a fucking obligation.
The bribe was for USS to fight. The bribe was to fight the Soviets. The Soviets don't exist anymore.
No shit. Now it's fucking China.
It's done with. It's over. We don't need to. No. If we just leave China alone, they'll die.
No, they fucking won't.
Yes, they will.
No, they fucking won't.
They have no natural resources and no ability to go get their own without somebody protecting.
They've got a giant fucking army that they can come and take what their treaty fucking bullshit things. What you don't fucking understand is they own half your fucking bread belt too, you know.
They can't. No, they don't. They don't know shit.
Yeah, they do.
Fucking, you know who our largest creditor is?
Jesus Christ, Penoid. You got no fucking idea what's been going on.
Who's our largest?
You've fallen for the fucking same bullshit CCP bullshit. The fucking
it's BLM and Antifa. No, human rights are fucking bullshit.
Who's the number one owner of Treasury bills? Who is it? Do you know?
Only because you've been the standard since the fucking 40s.
Who's the number one owner of our fucking debt? Who?
China.
No, Japan.
You rented them for $3 trillion fucking dollars, and you cunts fucking want to deny that shit too.
No, we're into them for about 1.1.
Thanks to fucking Obama.
No, it's 1.1 trillion.
It was fucking 3 when it was in fucking Obama's hands, and that was going to take his decades to fucking pay off.
No, because they only bought 5 and 10 year Treasury bills. It's fucking done with now. It's over with. Those Treasury bills gets paid off and they're fucking over with. And China's been dumping them anyway. They own less than $1 trillion worth of our fucking Treasury bills right now. Japan's the number one holder of our fucking debt. Legit, they don't have, they have no navy. All right, China's navy legitimately can't leave the South China Sea.
Yeah, that's only because of a whole bunch of fucking American bloody submarines that won't fucking let them.
No. It's because of Japan, Taiwan, and they can't float more than 1,000 miles away because they don't have the ability. They have a whole bunch of small ships. They don't have fucking shit for large ships to float the oceans. They can't protect their fucking trade routes to go get fucking natural resources, like oil, for instance, which runs their fucking economy.
Yeah, and you don't know what's happening in fucking Pakistan at the moment, do you?
I know exactly what's happening in Pakistan at the moment, do I? I know that India is the motherfucking individuals who say who the fuck is allowed to leave the goddamn fucking the Persian Gulf, period.
Only because they're standing up with the rest of us, like you should be doing.
Only because we don't care. It doesn't matter to us. If we stop defending China's trade routes, they starve. That's the point. They're a paper tiger. They're fucking garbage. They have nothing. 35 years after a one-child policy,
made no fucking sense. If you stop defending their trade routes, they'll starve.
Yes, because they can't do it themselves.
You're not defending their trade routes to begin with.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not. If you were, you'd be shooting more fucking fishing boats in every other bastard's bloody backyard.
We provide global security for fucking trade. That's what we do. All right, and we're gonna stop doing that. And China's gonna starve to death.
No, they're not.
Yes, they will.
Okay, we're not gonna stop.
You think that you're an idiot?
Biden is elected, though. Biden is a warmonger. Biden's gonna get us.
Biden will keep this shit rolling. Trump was killing it. That was the whole problem. Legit.
No.
Trump was going to kill all that.
He's going to go softly on China and fucking ignore what they're going to fucking do and let them fucking do whatever the fuck they want.
That's what we were saying, Farty.
Like, yeah, he's gonna do it with the whole world. We're gonna keep floating our navy to protect all y'all's bullshit when it doesn't give us a fucking thing. Because we don't fucking need the rest of y'all. Like, legit, like all those international wars that we're doing, we don't fucking need to do it anymore. Why do you think we're like over here setting up all these fucking treaties between Bahrain and Israel and all this shit? You know why? It's because we're leaving. We're letting Turkey deal with Syria. Like, we're gonna let Iran deal with Saudi Arabia. We don't fucking care. We have no stake there anymore. It doesn't matter to us. We're energy independent. We are energy independent.
Hang on, we'll continue this in a few.
Well, what we do need is people to watch the polls better, or maybe not have volunteers count.
Yo, that's shit over, dude. Fucking Biden won. Let it go.
He hasn't won. I'm looking at the map right now. He has not won.
He's won. He's won. Legit. He's gonna win Nevada, and it's gonna be over.
Oh, and that's the thing. Biden has won, and as I was saying earlier, anybody who's been paying attention knows Trump is going to contest it. They already have, and if it flips in favor of Trump after it's contested, then Biden's going to contest it. And it doesn't matter who wins at this point.
Nevada only puts him at 259.
Well, this shows his Pinoy's true nature. He's a rollover boy. You'll just let people walk over him then.
Real quick before you guys get back into it, because Internet Blood Sports needs to take a pause real fast. If you've been paying attention,
this is not Internet Blood Sports at all. Like, yo, this is a discussion between men that's getting a little heated because my man knows that he's out there on an island by himself.
Peanut, I'm being facetious, and you damn well know it, you bastard. But no,
I'm by myself. That's why we're in a fucking commonwealth.
All right. Before you guys get back into it, because the discussion is good, I just gotta say this: if you don't think this is going to the courts, if you don't realize that there's the reason they were freaking out about Amy Coney Barrett getting nominated and confirmed, this is why. Because regardless of who wins, the other side will contest it. It will go to the courts, and we're gonna be dealing with this for the next month. For all we know, it's gonna go all the way to fucking January, and that's what scares me the most. If it goes all the way to January and there's still not a decided winner, then guess who you get as your standing president temporarily? Pelosi,
Nancy Pelosi.
Yep. That's what I'm scared of.
Oh, that's Nancy.
Okay. Yeah, like fucking she a bag too. She's just like Joe Biden. But fucking all right, look. Let me put it like this, Farty. If you had to defend the world's trade routes and you got nothing for it, you would be highly upset about the fact that your government spent that much money being out here fucking floating a navy to protect the rest of the fucking world, while like everybody else got to enjoy fucking universal health care and fucking fucking pensions and fucking free shit all over the goddamn country. Right, and fucking housing and all this nonsense, while you had to stand here and pay massive amounts of fucking taxes to upkeep a military that you didn't fucking need, and all you had to do was stay the fuck home, and you were fucking fine.
Well, what would you rather? The fucking Russians got the upper hand?
Okay, let me can I explain about the Russians? Because the Russians are garbage too. Like, they're nothing.
I know they're not the threat, and they're actually doing more fucking actions to prove that they aren't a threat, and they've actually even come out recently and said, fucking, China, you're on your own, cunt. Don't fucking look at us.
Well, do you understand the situation in Russia right now?
Yeah, Putin's just trying to fucking get his country on its fucking feet. That's all he wants to really do.
No. He wants to survive. All right, do you know that 1% of Russia has fucking AIDS? You know that I'm not on their feet. They don't want to survive. They're not going to make it. Like, as a country, they're not going to make it. Right? Fucking, did you know 1% of their population has fucking AIDS?
And? Go have a look at the
percentage. Did you know that by 20? Yeah, but Africa's a bunch of fucking countries that constantly have revolutions and fucking massive amounts of unrest.
Oh, shit's changing.
Where, in Africa?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Yeah, it is. Just take a look at Sierra Leone, for example.
What about it?
Well, They've already had the fucking corrupt motherfucker and all this kind of shit. They're so dead set against fucking war and all this kind of crap because what they got, they didn't fucking deserve in the first place. Like, they're willing to fucking... They're actually even fucking asking to get back in the Commonwealth. You know? Fucking... And part of most of fucking Africa is starting to become industrialised and modernised and things like that. And they're actually betting that within 50 years, they're going to be a fucking industrial capital of the world. They're going to be making all this shit instead of the Asians.
Yeah, they're not, though, right? Because, like, their transportation networks are fucking garbage, and they don't have the ability to stand here and, like, actually fucking produce anything because they can't transport anything.
Yeah, time will see about that.
Well, no, I mean, like, yo, their geography, like, makes it so it's damn near impossible to fucking, like, link any of these countries together, set up any actual fucking rail networks, or have the ability to float anything. They don't have any decent river systems. Like, fucking most of Africa is a fucking diabolical nightmare when it comes down to transportation. So, like, the opportunity for them to move from fucking, you know, low end fucking good producers to becoming individuals who stand here and do, like, you know, value added shit is very, very low when it comes down to it. Like, they really don't have that opportunity to do so just because of the fact of how bad their fucking geography is, right? Now, here's the thing about Russia, though. Like, Russia, inside of, like, fucking the next year and a half, their fucking army is going to be about half the size of what the fuck it was 3 years ago.
It's only 100,000 people they're getting rid of.
Huh?
It's only 100,000 people they're getting rid of.
No. That's like their military, right? Is the issue. Yeah. And the last of the individuals who were actually educated, you know, underneath the USSR system are gone, right? So they have no people in their military who can fucking actually do anything, right? They have no people in their military who have any ability to fucking, like, you know, produce anything. Most of their country's a fucking backwards, diabolical, fucked up piece of shit. Their borders are too large for them to fucking defend. They, you know, I mean, the only opportunities they really have is taking over the old Eastern Bloc countries so they can shorten up their fucking borders and shit, which they've been trying to fucking do. But, like, legit, they have a massive opium problem at the fucking moment. Like, Russia's a fucking basket case, and it's not a threat to the world in any way, shape, or form. Just like China. China's in the same fucking level, right? China's holding on by a goddamn thread. Like, fucking their currency's fucking dog shit at the goddamn second. They're falling apart on a regular basis. They literally have no ability to fucking continue to produce any fucking goods and transport them long term because of the fact that they're relying on the United States for all their fucking trade security, right? And if we stop fucking dealing with the motherfucking Middle East and we let India deal with them, we're having border skirmishes with them at the moment, right? India fucking will stand there and sink their fucking ships off the fucking shore, and they won't be able to get any tankers through. And on top of that, they have to deal with Japan, who's got a fucking much better navy than they do.
And who are the Indians buying off at the moment? Mainly the Russians.
Saudi Arabia.
No, militarily, mainly the Russians.
Oh, militarily?
I don't know whether you've been noticing this. Yeah,
Russians. Well, Russian, United States.
Yep, they run MiG fighters, they run Sukhois. They wanted to hire a fucking nuclear ballistic missile submarine off the Russians, which has been vetoed because they can't pay their bills properly. Fucking a lot of their shit comes from fucking Russia. And Russia's running around the Southeast Asian region going, hey, who wants to buy shit? We're giving it away cheap.
Yeah, so, because like, they don't have the ability to man it anymore.
Then there's the whole point about the S3, 4, and 500 fucking radar systems, right? Fucking Syria reckons, right, they locked up a fucking F-35 from Israel with a fucking S-300 system and got a missile close enough to damage it. Now, this is basically being confirmed by Israel by saying they lost one of their really expensive jets from a bird strike, because as if they're going to fucking admit they've got a missile close enough to fucking hit their stealth fighter. But China's also got this fucking system. They got the S-400 system. They got a couple of units before Russia decided to veto that shit. And you best believe they fucking reverse engineered that shit. So, technologically fucking backwards? I don't think so, Tim. Even fucking North Korea, if you had been paying attention with that last little bloody fucking parade they had a lot of brand new Russian gear in there.
Yeah, but Russian gear is not what it's cracked up to be. We saw what happened when fucking Iran tried to launch off against fucking Iraq. And what they have, fucking 12 missiles they fucking launched and 6 of them hit the fucking airport.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, mate. This was what 40 fucking years ago.
That was last year.
Huh? When
that was last year. Yeah, last year, fucking Iran launched off against after we killed their fucking ambassador, their general and shit. They launched off 12 fucking missiles, and only 6 of them hit the fucking airport.
Yeah, I do remember hearing about that. They did fire several. What were they? I think they were
Russian bullshit.
It's one of the SA systems. I think it was a 6, but I don't know if
that's fucking ancient shit. That
actually, well, no, it might have been actually, no, it wasn't a 6. It's either a 10 or a 12. It's one of the two. But I don't know if that boils down to the Russian weapon systems being ineffective so much as it boils down to the fact that the countries that buy a lot of these weapon systems from Russia can't afford to maintain them properly.
That is more the point.
That's a big issue that China
still got fucking F-14 Tomcats that they've been bodging up for fucking God knows how long.
Well, that's a big issue that China was running into in the 70s and the 80s, is they were buying stuff from Russia. So were a lot of Middle Eastern countries, a lot of Soviet bloc countries when the USSR was still a thing. They couldn't actually afford to maintain the technology that they were developing, which is a big part of why the Soviet bloc collapsed. And it's ironically enough, here in the United States, we actually got very close to that point as well. People think we spend a ridiculous amount of money on the military because we're constantly, building new jets and new bombs and training more and more troops. No, it's because the level of technology that we have requires a ridiculous amount of fucking maintenance, and it's not something you can just hand a wrench and a manual to someone and actually maintain. You actually need trained personnel to do this. It's not cheap. If anything, the Russian technology has an advantage over U.S. technology because it's cheap to maintain, and even then, these countries still can't afford to maintain it.
Cheaper.
And that's a completely different tangent that I'm not going to get into. Cheaper by comparison to United States and Europe, but for a country like Iran trying to maintain a T-72 or a SA-12 missile system, it's still expensive as shit.
Yeah, again, I'm saying, look, legit. The United States doesn't care about any of this shit anymore, and we're not threatened by fucking China. China can't escape the South China Sea. Right?
Yeah, that's why they're building islands.
No, they're building islands so that they have places to launch off of to go after fucking places like Taiwan. And they have defensive positions that they can fight against places like Japan.
Yeah, that's why the 9 dash line comes all the way down just off fucking Papua New Guinea.
Right. Like,
another reason they're building those artificial islands is because they...
Yeah, and they want to be able to have refueling. They want to be able to have refueling points.
Yeah.
Refueling points are one thing.
Fucking keeping an eye on that, they'll fucking keep going.
Yo, look. Again,
real quick, sorry.
Problem, not ours. What the fuck do we care?
Well, when they start bombing fucking Hawaii, I think you'll have a fucking cry. But, oh, no, that's right. You like being walked all over, so I think you'll just shut up about that.
Look, legit, they're not going to fuck with us. They know better.
They already have been for well over a fucking year. Shit a brick.
They haven't been doing shit to us.
BLM, Antifa, this fucking election. Shit. Fucking crying out loud. That's not just China, right? All right, so all of our tech companies are highly invested, and this is why all this shit's happening, by the way, right? This is why all these companies are out here supporting BLM and all this nonsense. It's because they have investments in these fucking countries. They have investments in Taiwan. They have investments in fucking Vietnam. They have investments in fucking India, right? And they want to be able to stand here and continue to manufacture goods and move them back. But if we stop defending the trade routes and we stop letting that happen, they have to move their whole operations back to America. And it's something that should have been happened a long time ago, right? There's a lot of companies that are just bringing it back and automating everything. But they don't want to fucking do it. They don't want to have to spend that money to be able to do this. Right? But they're highly invested in this shit. It's not just China. It's fucking our own companies are doing this shit. That's why Google and fucking Amazon and Alphabet are all fucking funding these movements as well. There's a reason why.
It's because of the fact that they're heavily invested and they don't want to onshore shit.
Oh, they don't pay taxes out here. Google doesn't anyway.
Google pays taxes in America, and fucking so does fucking everybody the fuck else, right?
Yeah, they don't pay taxes out here. That's why they got a lot of their shit out here too.
Right. But I'm saying they stand here and they don't fucking they want to continue the current system as it was before Trump. And I'm not interested in that system anymore because you know what? I don't want to have to pay for the trade security of fucking Google. I don't fucking care. I don't care about fucking phones that are made in motherfucking, in China. I don't care about their bullshit ass fucking circuit board fucking shops that they have out there. I don't care about any of that shit. It doesn't matter to me. As an American tax-paying citizen, I don't care. All right, if you want to manufacture shit in China, you pay for the security, not me, not my tax dollars. You fucking bring that shit back here if you don't want to pay for the security, and then you employ Americans, which drives up the wages. That's the whole point.
Biden, it'll also drive up the taxes too, and that'll be the little guy, not the companies.
No, it'll be the goddamn companies because the companies have to be fucking competitive. I want them to start.
You want to suck about how much child support you now have to pay and all this kind of shit and how little money you actually get to do it.
That's not a tax. That's not a tax. Child support's set. That's a whole different thing. That's a civil matter, right? I'm talking.
Didn't you just say that you had to pay 20% on fucking? That's a tax.
20% on what?
On the fucking payments that you have to make when you pay off a fine or your child support or something like that.
Yo, that's because the state's retarded and doesn't know how to take credit cards. All right, they're fucking garbage. That's what that's about. That literally has nothing to do with with taxes.
Surcharge is just another fucking term for a tax, man.
Hey, I've been quiet for quite a while. Farty, that's a local issue. That'd be like Pinoid sitting here bitching about my cigarette tax is going to jump $2 a pack. I'm
still a tax.
I don't expect Pinoid to be mad.
Obviously he's not mad about bloody much.
Right, if I don't smoke, I don't pay that fucking tax. I'm talking fucking taxes as a whole, like state tax, local tax, federal tax, right? Fucking these are taxes that come directly out of my check, right? That I have to file every year and fucking pay for, right? Those are actual taxes, right? They're set by representatives, things of this nature, fucking funding, all the bullshit, allocations, all that nonsense, whatever, right? So what I'm saying is, right, is that legitimately I don't want to have to continue to pay taxes to fund a military that's going to fucking stand here and float all over the world to protect everybody else's goods that don't fucking involve me. That are standing here depressing the wages of my labor.
You do realize why the United States has basing rights all over the world? You can get at cunts that you can't reach with your fucking aircraft carriers.
Okay, this again was all set up to fight the USSR that doesn't exist anymore. And it's all set up to provide trade security for the world that we agreed to do during the Bretton Woods Agreement and the Atlantic Charter in it.
And?
This was all agreed upon back in 1945.
Yeah, and?
It's over now because the USSR doesn't exist anymore. We said, look, we see that big red Soviet army over there in the fucking east, all right? And we said, we're not interested in fighting it, okay? We don't want to have to do a land battle with them. They don't want to have to do a naval battle with us. So what we did was we said, look, we will completely surround them and we'll bribe our way to fucking have a fucking treaty with everybody so that they will stand shoulder to shoulder with us and fight the Soviets, right? And it was good for everybody involved. We said, look, we'll give you access to the largest fucking consumer market in the world for free. We'll provide all the trade security for free. We'll stand here and give you a stable currency for free that you can trade in your fucking US dollars for gold. And it existed all the way up until 1971, right? Each country did this, right? And we said, we'll do all this for you, right? For nothing. All you have to do is whenever fucking the Soviets pop up, you stand with us. It's that simple. Now, the Soviets are gone. What purpose does this
still around?
We don't care about China. The only reason China is as good as what it is because we helped them get there. We fucking made them into what they are. And if we stop doing it, they will fall down.
Whatever you fucking reckon, Sunshine.
Am I wrong? Anybody else, am I wrong?
No, you're a fucking traitor.
Am I wrong? If we stop helping China, they will fall down on their own.
The only thing that's really fucking making them fall at the moment is all the fucking sanctions and shit and fucking trade embargoes and all that kind of stuff. What you are doing at the moment is fucking them over. What Biden will do is relinquish all of that shit and just turn a blind eye.
Oh, I know. That's the worst part of Biden. Legit is that it's going to continue all this bullshit.
Fucking you lot.
I guess I'll drop my 2 cents in real quick and answer Pinoid's question. The only reason China that has gotten to the level that it has right now is because, as stated earlier, we are the largest consumer market, and China offers us very cheap labor. It's part of the reason that they're not killing their fucking babies anymore. Yeah, no one likes to talk about that. And also, despite being such a large country, their natural resources aren't exactly desired. They might have some iron here and some copper there and some tin, but they don't have shit in the way of oil. They don't have shit in the way of gold. They don't have shit in the way of silver. A lot of other countries do. We have a bunch here in the United States, but they can offer us cheap labor, which is their number one export. And a bunch of companies can build a bunch of shit for dirt ass cheap, Nike and Apple looking at you, and a bunch of idiots will pay a ridiculous amount of money for it over here in the United States because it has a fancy ad campaign and it looks nice. And that's the number one thing China has going for them. You know what China can't do? And Pinoid, I believe you touched on this as well. They can't fucking feed their own population. You want to know why? Because a quarter of the country is a fucking desert, and the fertile area, the fertile land that they have down there in southern and eastern China, half of it's been fucking polluted to the point where plants won't fucking grow. They can't even grow enough rice to feed their own fucking population. You want to know what our number one export to the United States is as far as agriculture is concerned?
Rice,
soybeans, wheat, and lean hogs. And you know who the number one buyer of that is? Fucking China.
Yeah, and here's what you guys keep ignoring too, is that they've been running around buying up fucking farmlands and shit in other countries. I mean, like we fucking fell for it. There are huge swathes of Australia that fucking they've legitimately bought. They've got fucking legal deeds to and all this kind of shit. Fuck, we sell them fucking water. Like our fucking river systems and shit have been pumped into their fucking farms, and our farmers are getting fucked over. They bought the port of Darwin. It's debt trap for fucking diplomacy. And what that is intended on doing is that when you guys or when whoever can't fucking actually make our fucking shit work for them, they'll just come and fucking take it over.
And actually,
again, because they've got legally binding fucking deeds to it.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. They can't ship farmland home.
That's correct. However, you've got to try taking the land back off them.
Hold on, Party and Pinoid, real quick. I do want to touch on that because it's important to note. There are a lot of Chinese companies that are subsidized by the CCP that have, over the course of about the past 20, 30 years, been buying up a lot of land, and they do it under the guise of, this is why the Green New Deal is garbage. They've been doing it under the guise of, we're going to do a solar farm here, a wind farm there, or we're going to subsidize this company that's not Chinese, but is based out of whatever region in the world you're talking about. And you see this a lot happening in Canada, to some degree on the West Coast, specifically in California, and also in Western Africa. And those companies, do have direct ties to the Communist Party of China. So they're, through their own roundabout way, they are technically buying land, but it also doesn't mean that the country itself, if they decouple themselves from China and specifically the CCP, couldn't tell them to go fuck themselves.
And this is part of the Belt and Road Initiative, and this is why they wanted to fucking set that up, is because, well, they wanted to buy those fucking bits of land and shit like that, set up their own fucking security systems and whatnot, all that shit that's happening in Xinjiang with the fucking cameras on every fucking corner and shit. They wanted to do that fucking everywhere that fucking signed up for that, knowing that these countries were too poor to pay back what these supposed free transport fucking links and all that kind of shit was going to give them, and then they, oh, well, fuck you, we'll just take it back and we'll run it ourselves. We'll put the PLA in there, there. We'll have our own fucking cameras. Oh, by the way, you're talking shit about fucking Hong Kong at the moment. Oh, well, we'll just extradite you back to Beijing. And when they've cut off large fucking swathes of the United States in that kind of thing, you drive through there and they'll fucking, oh, this cunt here, we fucking know on the internet he's been talking shit about Hong Kong. They'll pull you up with fucking Chinese police, have you fucking shipped off to one of their airports and fucking flown off to Beijing. They can't fucking do that.
They can't do that.
This touches.
It won't last very long in America because it won't take long for you guys to fucking pony up to it. Go, hang on, no, fuck off. That shit's not cricket. But fucking it'll start happening. Yeah. You watch.
Yeah, like again, this is why like we're not attached to China. Right, legit. Like we're not attached to the rest of the world like the rest of y'all are, right? Like we have our own natural resources. We have countries who are great trading partners right here at the moment. We buy most of the shit that we fucking make, right? Like we don't really need anybody to fuck else. And this is kind of where I'm at. This is why United States didn't enter World War II and didn't enter World War I and won't enter World War III, right? Like, if we do, it'll be really late. The reason is because of the fact that the U.S. legitimately can be motherfucking non-interventionist and not worry about it because we're not going to get fucked with.
Yeah, you reckon?
We're too far away. We legit. Why would you drag us into a fight? Everybody in the world knows better than to drag the U.S. into the fucking fight.
That's what I've been trying to fucking tell you. You cunts are too busy fighting amongst each other and all this kind of shit at the moment to be bothered with what the fuck's going on around the world. And by the time you do start paying attention, it will be 3 years down the fucking track and you will have to fucking get involved, whether you like it or not.
We won't. We'll never deal with it because we don't have to. It has nothing to do with us.
Not fucking yet, it doesn't. But if you don't fucking start fucking now, it will be a fucking problem.
It won't be. You think China's going to come and poke us with a stick? No, they're not.
When you're too fucking weak because you've had your fucking civil war and you're too busy shooting each other and all this kind of shit, and the Chinese will probably come along and say, oh, America, we see you'll have problem. Oh, we be peacekeeper. We put our police and our fucking PRA on the street. Make sure everyone don't shoot at each other. Oh, look at this. Oh, we recognize you. Oh, paranoid. Oh, you a subversion. Oh, you try to argue that in our courts where you don't have no rights. Oh, okay.
Yo, again, they will never do this. It will never happen. You're scared of a country that legit we can crash by fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking scared of them. I'm just fucking concerned about what's going to happen in the fucking future. And
they're not going to have a future if we don't feed them.
They don't fucking need you cunts to fucking feed them. What part of the Belt and Road Initiative shit didn't you get? What part of I just said they've been buying up fucking land and shit specifically so they could be fed?
Again, Doku, what did we just agree upon?
No, we do feed China. Yeah, we do.
So does everybody else at the moment. Why do you think they've told us to fuck off with our barley and beef and all this kind of shit? Because they don't need us anymore because they've got enough coming from everywhere else.
Well, this is a point that I wanted to bring up. People seem to misunderstand when people start saying, oh, Joe Biden or whoever it is in power, it could be Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter. When they start saying, oh, they're selling us out to China, what they really mean is that it's not that, oh, all of these companies are building stuff in China and shipping it back to the United States and stupid U.S. consumers are paying exorbitant amounts of money for cheap Chinese-made products. That's not what they mean. When they say selling out to China, you have to look at a lot of the shell companies and who owns them and who they have ties to, because there are a lot of corporations that have ties back to China and the CCP that do own land and infrastructure in countries like the United States, Canada, certain parts of Europe. Spain's a big one. Areas in Africa is another big one. I believe South Africa is having an issue with this. They're fighting against it, but they can't. And if China decides United States is enemy, they do have a certain level of financial leverage against the United States and these other countries to the point where they could drag the U.S. into a war. It would not be easy to do, but the potential does exist. And it is a threat that needs to be recognized. Granted, the United States does have something called eminent domain, so the government could come in and just say, fuck you. But that's not going to happen under a Biden presidency, which is why I consider Biden to be a threat. But
well, the main point with getting rid of Huawei was that they couldn't be trusted to not embed fucking their own programming and shit. And this literally does turn into your smart devices could be turned on by them and they can track you and shit. Or fucking, download illicit fucking shit to get your bank account details and all that kind of stuff. I mean, of course, lots of other people can do that with the technology that they've got now, but you sure as shit just don't want to invite that crap into your technology.
Well, yeah, the problem was not motherfucking like the fact that they were doing it to the public. What the government had a problem was is they were doing it to the government. Right, like they didn't have a problem with them doing it to the public, So like were they? Oh, we don't really care about y'all. We care about the government. We care about the fact that like maybe a congressman will have one of your like some type of fucking technology on his fucking phone or whatever, and bada bing, bada boom, fucking listen to him at home, and he was talking about something, and they'll be able to fucking like stand here and get leverage over him or whatever the case might be. That's how the fuck that really operated.
Well,
but
I'm just gonna real quick, I'm just gonna make a statement to reaffirm kind of what you're saying. Under Biden, every person who works for the United States government, whether it's directly or remotely, is going to be using Zoom. That should tell you everything you need to know.
Maybe. They're probably going to use a fucking more secure fucking way of doing things rather than Zoom. Legit. Because the military actually has their own like fucking network for that type of shit. And like if they're gonna do shit inside the intergovernment, it'll be an intergovernment motherfucking thing back and forth. It won't be, Zoom, I don't think.
Actually, I can tell you right now from personal experience and from people I know and talk to, yes, they do, you're correct. They do have their own secured internal network for communications. But they're not using it. They're using fucking Zoom.
Yeah,
Why?
and how many fucking Blackberries did fucking Hillary have to destroy?
Like I said, why they're using Zoom, I have no idea. Maybe it's convenient, maybe it's cheap, maybe there's something more nefarious. I don't know. I can't answer that question, but I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, because I know people within the Beltway, within three-letter agencies, within government contractors, and within military, for some reason, they're all using Zoom. I don't know why, but they are.
I don't know either. But I'm gonna tell you what, yo. I'm gonna go get some fucking rest, man. I've had a long fucking 2 days. Like, so fucking, I gotta fucking get some fucking Z's and fucking get up and hit this shit in the morning. I'm gonna holla at y'all, yo, Farty, man. Please don't motherfucking be mad at me, man. I'm just like I'm trying to explain a geopolitical stance to you that like fucking is just it's tough to portray without like what I mean.
I know,
like,
dude. I'm just saying, I think there's a lot of things you're not considering here, man. But yeah, no worries, man. I'll catch you later.
All right. Yo, Matt, thank you for having me on. Later, Doku. I'll holler at you.
Yeah.
All right, Pinoy, get some rest, bro. Make some money.
All right. So, like I said, this might end up being a short episode. It might not. Well,
at least we're not repeating ourselves. Or repeating CNN.
Why exactly couldn't the guard count the votes? I mean, you're talking about states that have never done mail-in voting before, ever. And you're talking about massive potential voter fraud. I think we could have cut the fraud part out by having the National Guard count the votes.
Oh, if I remember correctly, the National Guard, at least in, I believe it's Wisconsin, was actually involved in some of the ballot counting. If I remember correctly, don't quote me.
I mean, they should have counted all the votes for every state. All of them.
Yeah, well, I think, Doki, you mentioned this on a previous show somewhere that, like, weren't you going to go and volunteer, or someone on the show was going to go volunteer as a counter and stuff like that, and I'm sort of thinking, hang on a minute, like, fucking, if there's no standards on who gets to go and count, why, well, what's to stop them from fucking just stacking the fucking counters with Biden supporters and they're just, like, ignoring fucking Trump votes?
If I remember correctly, that was Brian the Observer, and yes, he was going to. And that's fine and dandy, except we've seen at least 2 instances where And if you don't believe me, I'll drop this link again. I dropped it previously. This is a link to a Twitter video where whoever is presiding over the facility that's counting votes comes out and says, "I want all of the Republican challengers out of this building right now. I'm not answering questions. Basically, just get GTFO, get the fuck out." And they have the police. They have the police there to support it too, or to enforce it.
And in Michigan, there's high tensions here as they're putting up fucking poster board over the windows so you can't see them counting the votes.
Well, and I've seen
a clear and transparent voter count.
Well, I've seen a lot of people freak out on Twitter about this and ask like, "Well, they're just doing it. It's fine. It's legal. Okay, but why are people freaking out? Oh, because they think Trump's lost. They want to. It's voter intimidation. It's election interference. Let's go down to the basic level of regardless of what side you sit on. Trump, Biden, doesn't matter. Let's look at this from an honest standpoint. Why are people freaking out outside of this counting station? Why are they banging on the windows? Why are they saying stop the vote? Well, the answer should be obvious if you're going to be honest. Reason number one, it's already being contested in courts. The Trump campaign is already sued. They're already saying stop the vote because they've seen video evidence. And yes, the video evidence does exist, whether you believe it or not. Hate to break it to you. The video is there. There's at least enough reason to believe that people are throwing away ballots. They're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to at least hold them for 2 years or longer in case the election gets contested. They're not doing that. There's even some people saying, and I haven't seen the videos, so I'm not going to comment on this one. I'm just going to say what I've heard. I have heard people say that they're even going as far as to burn envelopes and ballots after they've been counted, which you cannot do. And going back to the question of why, well, the people outside of this counting station are freaking out and saying stop the vote is because someone decides to say, oh, all of the Republican challengers, I want them out of the building.
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry, Candid. Your side cannot fucking have it both goddamn ways. You motherfuckers stopped counting in the middle of the fucking night for 1 hour and then came back with a completely different fucking election result. And now, we can't stop counting. Fuck that. Fuck that noise.
That's the thing. If they were gonna stop, that's fine. But it means stop. They already declared to stop the vote or stop the counting. But then they continue to keep counting.
Well, I saw an interesting video of this dude who reckons that he is a legal attorney and all this kind of shit under previous presidents and stuff, and he reckons he's seen something along the lines of this 1,000 times before, which it's hard to think that 1,000 times when you've had 50-something presidents and stuff, like, how does that work? But anyway, he basically outlined the legal process that could be taken, and then it comes down to, like, one person's actual fucking vote and all this kind of stuff, whether who gets in or not. And, like, it's sort of almost like he preempted it, like, as if to say, oh, this is going to be shenanigans if this happens and all this kind of shit, and then, pretty much prefaced that, like, you got to go vote multiple times for Biden and all this in this one video. It was a TED Talk, by the way, so that should give you an indication of how valid this bullshit artist's fucking opinion is. But it just seems that, like, this is all preempted and all this kind of stuff. It's all scripted and whatnot, and they kind of knew this was going to happen because they knew that they were going to get caught out with their fucking shenanigans, and this is the process that should be followed. And it's, I don't know, it's kind of like they outed themselves there. Sorry, Dodge, go.
No, and Candid said stop being butthurt. No, see, this is crap. The left does this every fucking time, and I'm sick of it. You guys change the rules in the middle of the game. Every time. I'm done with it.
Well, so I'll go ahead and continue what I was going to say. If you want to stop the count because you believe that something fraudulent is going on, and again, The states are the ones that said they're going to stop the count. This is not due to an injunction. This was not the Trump campaign filing a lawsuit. That happened afterwards. The states themselves, this happened in Virginia, this happened in Wisconsin, this happened in Michigan, this happened in Nevada, this happened in Arizona. They were going to stop the count. That's what they said. But they didn't. They didn't stop counting. And then you compound that with the fact that at least in a few counties, they said, oh, no poll watchers. Or even in the case of Detroit, I want all of the Republican challengers out of the building. How on earth are you going to ensure that the election is free and fair? And I'm not saying this from the perspective of if I want Biden to lose or if I want Trump to win. What I want to know is, was the election free? Was it fair? Was it open? Giuliani even said in Today, whether you agree or disagree with them, they have a right to observe. That's the argument they're making in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. And the way that it was perceived, at least by Pennsylvania, is that you can observe, but you can be 20 feet, 30 feet away. How on earth are you going to see whether the signature is proper, whether it was postmarked properly, look at the ballot, observe it? How are you going to do that if you're standing 20 feet away, 30 feet away? The answer is you can't. Now, I do not care if Trump loses. If he loses, he loses. It was a free and fair election. You know what? We lost. That's fine. But at least I want it to be fair. I at least want to maintain some level of integrity. And right now, with the way this election has been conducted, and you can levy claims against Trump and his campaign as well about what they're doing and saying that they're compromising the election integrity as well. I have no problem with that. I could agree. What I want is at least some degree of election integrity. And right now we don't have that. And it's not the right that is most guilty of this.
And it's really funny. We're going to stop counting. And they stop, and vans pull up with wagons full of votes, and igloo ice chests and suitcases go, no security in sight, no poll watchers in sight because they sent everybody home. They go right into the back where they're counting the votes, and then they restart an hour later and Biden jumps 10 points. Yeah, okay, this seems completely fair. Sure. I would like that beachfront property in Nevada, please.
Real quick, I'm just going to address the chat, and Dodge, I'm not going to speak for you, but Candid, Republicans are the one who are challenging the rules. You're pissed off the results because your side is losing, and you're taking it out on me because I'm a Dem. I'm only going to address the first part of that statement because it's not for me to address the second part. That's on you, Dodge.
Told you disappoint me one day, Candid.
I actually took issue with James Woods on this one, with something he said on Twitter. Yes, it is close enough that I will challenge the results, and I support Trump and Giuliani challenging the results because you know what? They're doing it still within the realm of what is allowed under the rules. We can challenge it. That's fine. And I support them challenging it. And if they lose, you know what? They lose. That's fine. It's not the first time there's been a recount. It's not the first time somebody's challenged it, and it won't be the last. Now, as far as taking it out on you because you're a Democrat candidate, I don't know. Dodge is going to have to answer that for you, and I'm sure he will as soon as I address Cass Warfox. I think you should be more worried about that fact moving forward. There will never be a fair election again. I tend to agree with you, Cass, and that's the reason I'm saying I don't care if Trump or Biden wins. More of what I care about is this brings into question the validity of our election and our electoral process. This is the first time we've had nationwide mail-in voting. We've seen some funny stuff. It's worth questioning. And I think it should be questioned because if it's allowed to pass and we just roll over and don't question it and we don't challenge it, then this will become the new norm. It will become our new normal. It'll become the status quo. And no, we should have had a clear winner 12 hours ago, but we don't. Why? I don't know. COVID, because they're not allowing poll watchers and challengers. They're kicking people out. And ballots are found in a ditch. I don't, maybe a combination of all of them, maybe none of them. Either way, it does bring into question the integrity and validity of our election process, and that is the bigger concern for me. Because at the end of the day, this is one election. You only serve 4 terms before you're up for re-election. If we allow this to stand without at least questioning it and make sure that we can say with beyond a shadow of a doubt that the election was conducted free and fair, well, okay, it was free and fair. We lost, but if we don't,
Dade in the comments though, just real quick. Dade in the comments, the same winners that wanted a recount literally 2 seconds after Trump won in 2016 are the same people that are hiding everything from the public and are still playing the blame game. And also, too, weren't they the ones that wanted to fucking get rid of the Electoral College fucking thing last time because it's unfair, but are now fucking relying on it now? Dade's got a fucking point there.
Biden also. Sorry, Dodge, real quick, because I'm just going to finish my point. I'm just going to
end it or not.
Just because I was about to do that, I had one last damn sentence before.
Now you know how I feel.
Well, we all do that to each other. It's part of the fun. The more important part here, regardless of who wins or loses, is making sure that we can at least trust our electoral process, and that's my concern. Now, Dodge.
Okay, Candid. Taking it out on you, maybe a little. For months now, you've been in support of Antifa, Black Lives Matter. You've supported riots. You seem to be the dumbest smart person I know. And I still like you. It's just, I don't know what's going on. I mean, how can you support burning down cities? Inaccurate, sure. Read me the Riot Act. Black Lives Matter, yes, you did in your own home state. I remember that conversation, me, you, and Doku.
I guess,
buddy.
Yeah, thanks for that, Taj. I appreciate it. I do remember that conversation, and wow, I'm going to be a temple here. I'm going to be milquetoast. Candid was saying that she didn't care if people were attacking federal buildings or stuff along that line because sometimes the government fucks up and sometimes civil disobedience is reasonable. And I believe my argument was by attacking federal courthouses or police precincts, you're just inviting in more authoritarian control. Like if you're going to protest police brutality, the last thing you want to do is go attack cops because you're giving them a reason to engage in more authoritarian actions. I don't know if that was in direct support of Black Lives Matter or rioters. I think it was more in. I'm gonna be nicer on Candid than I'm sure you will, Dodge. I think it was more. I understand why they're doing it and the sentiment behind it. I don't know if she directly supported, throwing fireworks at cops and trying to light courthouses on fire. I don't think she was. And I'm sure Candid will be more. Well, I know she's more than capable of defending herself, but that's how the conversation went to my memory.
Okay, fair enough, because I'm not going to start actual drama with Candid over this election. I'm not going to lose a friend over this election. I'm not Don Lemon.
Oh, well, to be fair, Don Lemon is a unique individual, and there's only one of him in the world, and we only need one, to be blunt.
No, we don't. We don't even need one of those fuckwits. But Kaz Warfox also mentioned too, and you did touch on this, Doku, is that I think you should be more worried about the fact that moving forward, there will never be a fair election again. And yes, this does bring in, like, internationally, if your elections can't be fucking seen as legitimate and stuff like that, and we don't recognise your leader as legitimate, well then, so much for all your fucking trade and all that kind of shit with everybody else. And with with Kanzuk coming in, fucking Canada's going to be more predisposed to be dealing with the Commonwealth as opposed to you guys, because yes, we can supply all the things that you guys do as well. The European Union is shitting itself. And what would you rather the European Union do? Come to you guys for their own trade agreements and stuff and buy shit off you guys, or run through the United Kingdom?
Okay, are we going back to that? Because I finally got this back on track. Because you and Pinoy went off on China for a good 45 minutes.
And
But like, yeah, no. Well, I'm trying to make you understand that like this isn't just you lot. We do have a vested interest, and I've been trying to tell you guys this for a few years now. That like, if we don't like the person that you guys vote in, we just won't fucking deal with you and have fun fucking trying to get shit to work. Then
And
when everyone's been belligerent.
Talking, and second, assholes, scroll up. You want on? There's a fucking link in there. Like, I'm not going to post a link every 10 minutes.
And also, real quick, I want to clarify this for both Bobby and Candid. What Candid said at the time, this was after George Floyd had happened, and we didn't have all the information. When people were freaking out, she said essentially what you had said, Candid, is, you know what? Let them do it. Like, if it's against federal buildings or whatever, yeah, fuck it, let them do it. Now, she never came out and said she supported it or said it was okay. That is true. She never said she directly supported or encouraged it. She just didn't care one way or the other. And to be perfectly honest, I felt the same way at the time as well. I thought it was stupid because you're essentially going to exacerbate the problem, and you're giving the police an excuse to act in a more authoritarian manner, which I view as being counterproductive, especially if your primary concern is police brutality. But she didn't come out and say, yes, go burn down the police precinct and go burn down the courthouse and go attack cops. And yeah, no, she did not support that. She just said she understood it. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
And I never called Candid a name or nothing. I was arguing mainly, you represented the left for a second. Okay, sorry. Should I throw someone else under the bus? Tim Pool. No, I'm kidding. No, here's the thing, though. They said that they were not going to count. So how does 15% shift in a time when they're not counting? How does an entire county of 25,000 plus people all vote for Joe Biden in Wisconsin? Every single person? That sounds fishy.
That's why I say it's worth questioning, and it should be questioned, because if for nothing else, we can at least get clarification. Because hey, if every 130,000 plus vote that was counted, they were all Biden, then guess what? They were all Biden. But at least we can have some clarification, because right now the important part is integrity. If Trump loses, he loses. So be it.
Okay, has nobody else ever used the dumbest smart person you know line? Candid's acting like she's actually offended by that, and I've used that line on my best friend before.
I'm pretty sure you said that to me at least 3 times that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, I say that all the time.
In my defense,
have people touchy.
In my defense, though, at least 2 of those times you said that to me, I was relatively drunk. So I'm the drunkest dumb smart person you know. I would like you to clarify that. Otherwise, I'm calling Giuliani.
Well, Candace's going to get you back by sending you a whole bunch of Yankee merch.
Yeah. She actually did send me a New York Yankees baseball. And then shortly after, my house burnt down, and it was in it. I forgot to save it.
Oh, dear, you forgot to pack your prized possessions. Oh, so sorry for your loss, Dodge.
No, I actually kept it and put it on a shelf. It was given to me as a gift. I wasn't mean about it. I didn't even take it out of the package. I put it up on the shelf. You know what I mean?
Dodge. Now we can confirm that Candid is officially a voodoo priestess, and she sent you a cursed object. I'm blaming Candid. Candid, you're solely responsible for all of the fires on the West Coast.
Oh, 40 gets a pass now, huh? Yeah,
he's an accomplice.
Nobody's going to listen to Project Veritas, and you guys have brought that up. I think this is the 3rd time in the chat, so I will address it. I like Project Veritas. I really do. They do very good journalism. Thing is, nothing ever happens. They find people breaking laws, and then nothing happens. So it's kind of a moot point.
And I don't dislike Project Veritas, and you're right, they do good journalism. It's just it does seem selective. I can see that argument. When it comes to any of those groups, I prefer Judicial Watch, and they seem to be a little more widespread and consistent. But they at least bring up points that should be addressed and questioned. Now, they don't seem fraudulent to me, but they do seem very what's the word? Focused. So you're not exactly getting the best context in the world.
Well, and the thing is, they still haven't called Alaska. You know when they called the entire West Coast last night? At 0% counted. 0%? How do you call a state when you haven't counted a single vote?
Yeah, I did see that, and Virginia was strange as well because it was at like 37% reported, and we should make a differentiation between reported and counted. So it was at 37% reported in Virginia, and it went all the way up to 97%, and then right around 3 a.m. they decided to stop counting votes. And strangely, it shifted from 3% Trump lead to 5% Biden lead. And I was actually watching the county breakdown, and I know the counties in Virginia: Loudoun County, Fairfax, Arlington, Alexandria, Richmond, Hampton, Norfolk were all 100% reported, and those are the deepest blue counties in Virginia. The rest of the state is pretty much red. Those were all 100% reported, and Trump still had a lead. And then out of nowhere, it goes down to being 95% reported. And then a few minutes later, it goes to a 5% Biden lead. So that's an 8-point swing in a matter of 30 minutes. If those are the votes, those are the votes. And Biden has a significant lead at this point in time, now that the counting is done. So he probably did win Virginia. What I'm saying is that something fishy probably still went on, and it should be looked into.
Are you surprised that Trump took West Virginia?
Actually, no, I'm not, because West Virginia has always been kind of on the fence, and considering some of Biden's remarks in regards to the energy industry, it really doesn't surprise me that West Virginia flipped red. And there's a lot of people that have been moving out of Northern Virginia closer towards West Virginia because the Northern Virginia area is incredibly expensive and West Virginia isn't. So it could be demographic change. I think that's probably also what drove Arizona, New Mexico, and Nevada. Is there's a lot of people leaving California, specifically California. It's also why I think Texas was close there for a while. So you have a lot of blue voters that are moving out of the state that could change the demographics.
Yeah, and as we've said before, this is going to be an unfolding news event for weeks to come. Yeah, remember 2000? Yeah, that's about how it's going to be. Let's just hope we're not the Al Gore side. I do want to discuss a measure that was passed in Oregon. Measure 110 was passed. It was backed by George Soros. He put in $150,000 to help it get passed. It was also funded by Zuckerberg. This measure decriminalized all drugs in the state: cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, all of it is now a $100 fine if you're caught in possession, or a health facility. They're going to take marijuana revenue taxes to help pay for the rehab centers. So at least they figured out a way to pay for the rehab centers. but they're not going to regulate the drugs, and the drugs are still going to be dirty and dangerous, and people are still going to die. And why exactly is this something Zuckerberg and Soros were interested in? That's my question.
Soros is a commie, and we all know that fucking bloody Zuckerberg is an evil alien Zionist bloody reptilian person. Just look at the cunt.
Toku, what do you think? Do you think it's another way to pacify the citizenry? Because do they really need another way? Oregon has been blue since 78, or no, 88. Oregon has been blue since 88. So,
snow cones worked for fucking pacifying the U.S. military by the Viet Cong in Vietnam.
See, I'm not sure where I stand on this one. I think this decision is more ideological than anything else. Where, oddly enough, we've seen the Libertarian Party, and Dodge, you would know this better than anyone. You've seen them move a little bit further left, and decriminalizing hard drugs is kind of a more left-leaning position. It falls right in line with no private prisons, no prison for profit, defund the police.
Yeah, okay, Goku. The Libertarian Party, since its inception, has been for the legalization of drugs. But that's the legalization, so they can be regulated and monitored, and you know what the dosage is. And at least if you're going to do something stupid, you could do it in a somewhat safer way. That's not what they're doing. This is still the cartels running drugs. They're just saying that every jerk off that buys drugs is now okay. You know what that's also going to do? Steal the police informants. They have no way into the inner circle now because they're not busting people for possession who point out the low-level dealer so they could pop the low-level dealer, flip them, and move up the chain.
Oh, so like I said, I think this is more ideologically driven. I don't know if there's a more nefarious purpose behind it, like trying to pacify and subjugate the population. But I could be totally wrong. I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure.
I do have a legitimate question about that, though. If they do decriminalise things like heroin and shit like that, stuff that really fucks you up and really fucks with your senses and stuff, are they still going to make it illegal to drive inebriated on this shit?
Yeah, you can't drive after smoking marijuana legally either. Yeah. Cool. The answer is yes. It's still driving while intoxicated. Or driving while under the influence of intoxicants.
So I guess I should touch on what I was saying in regards to this decriminalization. It's a step forward to essentially regulating and making it legal. It kind of like what we've seen with what's happened with marijuana in a lot of states, where now it's decriminalized. Now you have an actual economy built around it. It can be regulated. It can be monitored. It's safer than buying it off, random dude on the street where you don't know if your weed is going to be laced or something.
Goku, they're still buying it off a rando off the street. The meth is still going to be cut with fentanyl. They're cutting heroin with fentanyl. They're cutting an opiate with another opiate.
Well, Dodge, this is my point, and that's what I wanted to get at, is by taking this step, it could result in everyone, I want you to listen to what I'm saying. It is a step potentially towards that where it will be regulated and it will be, safer than just buying it off a random person off the street. You can't take that step without decriminalizing it first. Now, is it half-assed? Is it dangerous? Yes, it is. It's a very half-assed step. It feels ideological. It feels like a soapbox move, and it's probably going to result in more harm than it's going to do good.
Oh yeah.
All of that.
Give you an example.
All of that said, I do think this is largely driven by ideology. I don't think there's a nefarious purpose behind it. I think it is just purely like with Joe Jorgensen about immigration. Well, I believe in free movement between the states, so why should it be any different between sovereign nations like Canada and Mexico? Yeah, that's fine. You should be able to, hop over to Mexico and go buy some tequila and come back, and maybe you have to pay taxes or something. Who knows? But you still have to have some type of system in place to make sure that the nefarious parts, the bad parts that come with this level of freedom don't manifest. And that's what this doesn't address, is that the negative aspects of just saying, oh yeah, go up and shoot heroin, it's fine. That allows you to go ahead and maybe I'm shooting up heroin, maybe I'm shooting up, I don't know, 1,200 cc's of fucking arsenic. Who the fuck knows? It's a half-assed move. It sounds great on paper. It doesn't work in practice, and it is ideologically driven. That's my 2 cents on it.
Personally, it's a fucking slap in the face to EMTs and first responders and stuff like that. Because you know what happens when you give some kind of fucking shot of Narcan to fucking save their life? They get up fucking swinging because you're just taking their fucking high off them. Now, what's going to happen when more people are allowed to just go and, oh, well, fuck it, they said it's all right, so there's nothing wrong with heroin. Now I'm addicted and shit. Oh, shit, now I'm ODing. What happens to all these battered and bruised fucking bloody paramedics and fucking fireflies? Got to go deal with these fucking assholes, eh?
Well, and the thing is, Goku, you said you can't jump straight to legalization. The other measure on the ballot, measure 191, I believe, was to legalize psilocybin, which is the active chemical within magic mushrooms to make you hallucinate. It passed. So they went from completely illegal to mushrooms are now legal. So don't tell me we have to go halfway.
That one, I can see where they're probably going with that, and if you did look into it, you'd probably find that they've actually done a lot of things with psychotropics and people with mass depression, and I think even autism and some disabilities, where it's actually a lot more effective than fucking a lot of other things. So there is calls even here to start sort of legalising that, the psilocybin and shit like that, so they can use it in that sort of capacity.
Yeah, it helps traumatic stress disorder or whatever, PTSD.
There's massive caveats with that as well. It's not like, oh yeah, you go out and eat mushrooms and shit like that. That, there's a certain specific dosage and has to be taken in certain quantities and over a certain period and all this kind of shit.
Well, real quick, I want to address what Dodge said, because essentially what I was saying is you do have to decriminalize something before you can move forward with legalizing it. But it should be, and this is why I say it's a half-assed move, and it was done as a soapbox move, and it was ideologically driven. The reason I say that is because, you know what? If you want to snort coke or shoot up heroin, you know what? By all means, be my guest. I don't care. Where I say it's half-assed is because they just decriminalized it, but they didn't put any type of regulation or any type of infrastructure in place where it could actually be safe. And that's why I say it's an ideological move. It's a half-assed move. There's no benefit behind doing this. And I find this strange because even the people supporting this, the only logical reason I can see behind it, assuming you're not doing it out of goodwill, where you actually don't want people shooting up whatever because you don't know what's in it, would be for the sake of profit. I could see people supporting it because, well, hey, now I can be a legal cocaine dealer and make money off of it. I can see the monetary motivation, but without putting the regulation in place and making sure that it's, at least as well regulated as tobacco or alcohol, it comes across as just being a very hollow, very baseless, hey, look at us, we're the good guys. We're not going to take your drugs away from you. Now go vote for us. Again, I don't really know. It seems silly and stupid to me. I don't think anybody wins. I think it's dumb. I think it's ill thought out, and I don't see it being beneficial in any way. Sorry, Freddie, go ahead.
Yeah, well, another thing that, like, yeah, America should look to Australia for, and not our fucking gun laws, is like, well, what we do with fucking junkies out here. We tried methadone clinics and stuff like that, and basically everywhere that a methadone clinic has been put up, that's the corner of town you don't go fucking anywhere near, because you're still dealing with fucking junkies and shit who are high off their ass. Some of them don't even take the medicine while they're there, and they'll go off and they'll fucking sell it for money to go and get the hard drugs anyways. And then we had, I can't remember whether it was Wesley Mission or St. Vincent de Paul. It was some fucking religious mob up in King's Cross. And they just flat out opened up a shooting gallery. That's what they called it. Like, you know, a safe place where you can go and get your gear and then come and shoot up. And, like, you'll be observed. And if you fucking overdose, we'll call an ambulance for you. And they've had to bring in something like 20 more ambulances into the King's Cross area because of that fucking joint, and it's just caused nothing but bloody traumas and problems. And again, it's just been another place where you just don't go. King's Cross is violent enough as it is, with all the pissheads and fucking assholes that fucking roam around that joint. Like, fucking shit, I could tell you some really fun stories about fucking nights up in King's Cross. Then we'd be here all night. But yeah, you just don't go near the fucking shooting gallery if you're not a junkie. And it doesn't fucking really work too, because like it's just an enclosed space where the ambos can't get away from you when you do swing at them.
Well, yeah, and I want to say what's up to Creepy Little Book in the chat. And no, Farty, you're right. The areas that those places come up, or the needle exchanges, are not the areas you want to have a park or something where you take your kids. I understand. But Jacob said, you know, drugs have been illegal for decades and decades. Yes and no. I mean, you used to be able to buy a kit in a Sears catalog to shoot up heroin.
During World War One, you used to be able to buy a big kit from Harrods and send it off to the boys in the trenches.
You know, like that was a thing. And I do believe in self-regulation. You shouldn't be a moron and do heroin. There, I said it. Don't be a fucking idiot. But it's not daddy government's job to tell you not to be an idiot. Maybe you should fucking know better. Because you're going to get the drugs either way.
Well, I want to touch on something real quick as well. Dodge is correct. Yeah, you were able to get opium and cocaine back as early as 1910, 1920, I believe. Something like that. In the same way that you could be very irresponsible by shooting up heroin or snorting cocaine, is the same way you can be irresponsible by smoking way too much pot or drinking way too much booze. Now, weed is probably the lesser of all of them as in regards to how detrimental or how dangerous you can be to larger, greater society. But legalizing weed or making alcohol illegal and then making it legal again is not the same thing as making shooting up heroin legal. And there are scaling aspects to this where, you know, it is not it's not all things created equal in this sense. What I do find strange is that there is nothing put in place where these much more dangerous substances are not controlled or regulated in any way. It's just simply, yep, go out and shoot up, go for it, go crazy. There are no legal ramifications or repercussions, but at the same time, you can still spend an entire weekend in jail because you blew over on the breathalyzer test. Even though if you drink as much as I do, I could blow 0.1, and I guarantee you I'm probably still a better driver than most of the fucking idiots around here in Northern Virginia.
Well, and Jacob said something, sorry, Farty. It's not about the damn self-regulation. It's about healthy societal standards. Yeah, there was a time in American society where you were shunned for not for being a functioning alcoholic. Yeah, you're still not shunned for that. But you were shunned if you woke up, immediately grabbed a bottle of whiskey, and you were toast by 10 a.m. You know, you weren't thought of as cool. You were shunned if you were passed out in the corner because you just did fucking too much heroin. Not enough to kill you, but enough to knock your dumb ass out. You were shunned from society. You know,
That's
well,
the thing.
hang on. Here's a couple of points that, like, I'm taking a bit from what Penoid was saying before, and here's something that Dodge will understand, is that, like, you'd be paying taxes and stuff like that for fucking somebody else's fucking benefit and all this, and you think taxes are theft now? Well, go have a look at how much a shot of fucking Narcan is, right? And when the paramedics go out and bring these fuckers back to life, especially if they're a volunteer service, like in a lot of rural areas in America, and you don't fucking believe the junkie is ever going to bloody, be nice and pay his fucking bill or anything like that. So they've got to fucking fund that out of a duty of care by the services in your local government and probably even the federal element too. But they got to get that money from somewhere, so your local taxes will have to go up just to fucking keep these cunts alive.
That's a good point. I want to touch on what Dodge was saying just earlier. Yeah, if you drink too much, you're alcoholic. Yeah, sure, you can be an alcoholic. Society's not going to look highly upon you, and if you show up to work reeking of whiskey, and your belt loop is two loops too short, you're probably going to get fired. Despite the fact that alcohol is legal. That will happen. It'll be the same type of thing. It'll be the same type of thing with any other drug that you're looking at. On the other issue, and this is a bit of a tangent, this is why that certain societal pressures against certain types of behavior are important. There's a reason participation trophy generation is bad, and why they freak out, and why they can't cope with how well-adjusted people operate and engage in a normal society, because everything they do, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong, but if you think I'm wrong, you might want to reevaluate how you look at society and how you evaluate things, because all these people who operate in a certain way, they operate outside of productive societal norms. Societal norms exist for a reason. Bullying exists for a reason. People get made fun of for being alcoholics or junkies or what have you, for a reason. It's not because, oh, you're the weird outlier. It's not because you have half of your head shaved or you have your hair dyed some neon color. It's because you're not a functional member of society and you don't benefit anyone because of the views and outlooks that you choose. That's the reason that you're viewed in that way. It has nothing to do with the fact that, oh, your green hair is an ugly shade of snot green. It has everything to do with the fact that you're sitting there screaming in my face and you're not producing anything of value to anyone. In fact, you're actually dragging everybody down to your garbage ass level. It's the same way with alcoholics and junkies. If you're the richest fucking person in the world and you want to snort cocaine every Sunday and bang a hooker, chances are no one's really gonna care that much because you're still a net benefit to society. Now, granted, if you're someone who's shooting up every day and you're robbing people because you can't afford to pay a bill and you can't afford to feed your habit, people are going to look down on you and view you as a junkie. It's that simple. And I don't know why people can't understand that. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're smoking cocaine or smoking crack, or shooting up heroin. It has everything to do with the fact that you are a danger to society and other people don't like it and they're not going to be willing to support you or support what you're doing in your life decisions. That's the point.
Yeah, it's the danger to society part that's I'll bring up this fucking last year, right? We had this cunt in Victoria called Gary Pusey. Now, this cunt fucking, God knows how he's able to get so much money, but he's fucking a cokehead and he has a Porsche and he used to drive around at fucking ridiculously high speeds. Now, this kind of sounds a bit bullshit, but I assure you, this fucking actually did happen, right? Now, the cops fucking... They got so many reports about this cunt that they sat on this highway that he was frequently using. They caught the cunt. They pulled him over to the side of the road, right? No, not Busey, Pussy. Like, pussy. No shit. The cunt's a big pussy. Sorry, that was addressing Falcon in the chat. But anyway, fucking, while the cops had this cunt fucking pulled over on the side of the road, a semi-trailer driver who was on ice, no shit, fucking cleaned up all four of the fucking cops and killed them. And this bloke fucking just looked looked around like, oh, cool, get out of jail free card, and he fucking walked away and left every cunt to fucking die and shit. Like, but then it turns out, right, this cunt's fucking, like, he's fucking people over, and if you complain about him and 4 of his mates will come around your house and threaten and abuse and all this kind of shit. But then we've got the courts, you see. He's got a mental health issue. He's not a drug addict. He's got a mental health issue. And it's unfair that he should stay in jail because, you know, it's affecting his mental health. Oh, boo-boo. Oh. And that's what happens when, you know, you let cunts like that get away with shit.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And that goes back to my point of you can drink all you want. You could be an alcoholic. You can be a pothead. But as long as you show up, you do your job, and you're probably not going to get fired. Now, if you show up drunk as shit and you can't do your job, or you show up high as hell and you show up 3 hours late, you're probably going to get fired.
My brother's a functioning pothead, not only because he's been doing it, like he put his face in a bong at 15 and has never reappeared, but he's had to fucking hold down a job. His first job was court appointed, either get a job or go to jail, because he got the shits one night, punched out me dad's fucking windscreen on his car. So when my mum was driving him at the time, and she fucking turfed him out of the car, and he spent the walk home basically bashing every cunt's fucking windows in and popping tyres and shit like that. And I almost copped the blame for that too. But yeah, that was court appointed, and he spent the largest majority of his life doing the barest of fucking minimums. I'm telling you, this cunt's so fucking useless. He handed his passport in to go to America, into the US consulate in Sydney. And then when they gave it back to him, he didn't even bother looking in the fucking passport, just assumed that they didn't give him a visa because they didn't say anything whether he got one or not. And then 6 months later, he decides to finally look in his passport, seeing he had a valid fucking visa, the dumb cunt. He can't even catch a taxi or a fucking plane without there being some fucking bizarre bloody story. This is a guy that's like pre-wake up cones, post-wake up cones, pre-getting out of bed cones, getting out of bed cones, and all this kind of shit. And then when he can't get his pot, he's a fucking cranky little fuckwit, and like it's just easier to go and fucking shut him up by getting him something. But yeah, like this is part of the reason of why the house that I live in is so big, because it was a matter of when, not if, he was going to fuck things up, and it's now affecting his health and all this kind of shit. And it did happen, like he was on the verge of fucking losing everything, so I had to go down and rescue it, the story. But yeah, like he was also a major reason why I fucking lost a business, because he was too fucking useless to do as he was fucking told, because I'm his dumb shit little brother that fucking doesn't know diddly fucking squat, yes, but I've done fucking everything he hasn't done on my own and all this kind of shit. Anyway, so there's even downsides to smoking pot in some fucking cases. That's just, I guess that's a rarity though.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna end it at about here. Tomorrow I've got the DS9 review. We're gonna be starting at the very beginning. Jez, who runs the channel Digital Pollution, is gonna be on, and we're gonna break down the episode. And I might do a second stream tomorrow if there's any election news, but I think we're weeks out before we know. Any last thoughts, guys?
Oh, I was gonna say, if you think we're weeks out, you're talking about best case scenario. And we're probably a month out before we actually know anything. Because as I was saying at the beginning of the stream, regardless of who wins, quote unquote, Biden's not going to concede. Trump's not going to concede. It's going to go to the courts. It's going to take at least a month just to get any sense of, where the chips fall. And like I said, if Trump loses and it was a fair election, guess what? He lost. I don't think you're going to see anyone freaking out and rioting as you would see if Trump ends up winning. In that case, I think you're going to see, well, everything we've seen pretty much since the beginning of the freaking year, especially if you live in Portland or Seattle. All that said, I don't know. This entire election is
it questions our integrity. It questions how we conduct things. It is not normal. Nothing that went on was normal. And it should concern everyone. Put your partisan politics aside, put your preferred candidate aside, and look at the actual process. Look at what actually happened. Look at how people have been acting. Look at the way this election was conducted. And then try to tell me with a straight face that you don't think something fishy is going on. That's my final thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Farty, any final thoughts?
Yeah, America, get your fucking shit together. Because, you know, Britain's reforming the empire.
Boobies.
All right. Good night. Good luck. And Candid, if you're still there, hopefully no hard feelings. We're out of here.